She was only 8 years old, no taller than his waist, barefoot in silk pajamas, eyes wide like she'd seen tomorrow, and when Amara grabbed her billionaire father's wrist and whispered, "Do not go out tonight, he's wearing your face," Marcus Thorne laughed. He should not have laughed. Rain tapped softly against the penthouse windows. Silk curtains fluttered in the cool evening breeze. Marcus Thorne adjusted his cufflinks, smiling at his reflection. 8-year-old Amara stood in the doorway, barefoot and wide-eyed. She clutched her stuffed owl like a shield. "Daddy," she whispered, voice trembling. "Do not go out tonight," Marcus chuckled. Kneeling to her level, "Sweetheart, I have a board meeting. Very important." Her small hands gripped his lapels, her eyes, dark, deep, too old for her face, locked onto his. "I saw it," she said, "in the quiet place behind my eyes." He frowned, brushing a curl from her forehead. "You had a nightmare, baby." She shook her head. Slow and certain. "The man with no face is waiting by the garage." Marcus froze. His pulse thudded in his throat. He glanced at the security feed on his tablet. Empty driveway, empty street. But Amara's breath came fast now. "Shallow. He wears your suit," she whispered. "But his skin, it is not skin." Marcus stood uneasy. He checked his watch. 7:03 p.m. The car would arrive in 2 minutes. Amara tugged his arm harder. "If you leave, you will not come back as you." Her voice cracked like dry twigs. He hesitated. Then, against every instinct of power and schedule, he canceled the car. Security rerouted. Meeting postponed. At 7:06 p.m., the garage camera glitched. Static filled the screen for 17 seconds. When it cleared, something stood where his driver should have been, tall, still, wearing Marcus's exact suit. But the face, smooth blank like polished stone, it turned slowly toward the house, as if it knew he was watching. Amara buried her face in his chest. "It is still waiting," she murmured. "Because—" "You listened." Marcus held her tighter, cold sweat slick on his neck. Outside, the city lights blinked like distant warnings, and in the garage below, the thing did not move. It just watched. Marcus did not sleep that night. He sat in the dim glow of the security monitors. Amara curled on the sofa beside him, her breathing steady but her fingers still clenched around the owl's wing. Every camera feed showed empty hallways, silent elevators, vacant garage, yet something felt wrong, not loud. Not violent, just off, like the air itself held its breath. At 3:17 a.m., the penthouse thermostat dropped 10 degrees without command. Frost bloomed along the window panes, thin, delicate, forming shapes, not random. Letters, one by one, M-A-R. Amara stirred. Her eyes opened, not with fear, but with quiet knowing. "Daddy," she said softly. "It is not trying to hurt you." Marcus swallowed. "Then what does it want?" She sat up, small feet dangling above the marble floor. "It wants you to remember." A memory flickered, distant, buried. A rainy night 15 years ago, a crosswalk, man in a dark coat stepping too late. Headlights, a thud. Marcus had driven on, told himself it was an accident, told himself the man survived, but he never checked. Never looked back. Now, on the frost-covered glass, the word finished forming, Marcus. Below it, new letters began. "I remember you." Amara walked to the window, bare feet silent. She pressed her palm against the cold glass, right where the word you shimmered, and the frost beneath her hand melted instantly, as if warmth could erase it. Outside, in the garage shadows, the figure tilted its head, not threatening, just waiting for what? An apology? A name? A life returned? Marcus stepped forward, heart hammering, not with fear, but guilt, sharp and ancient. He opened his mouth to speak. When Amara turned, eyes wide again, "No," she whispered. "Not yet. Why?" he asked. "Because," she said, voice trembling with something deeper than childhood, "if you say his name out loud, he will come inside." and the lights in the penthouse flickered once, then died. Dawn bled softly through the frost-thin windows. The penthouse lights flickered back on, steady, calm, as if the night had never unraveled. The garage camera showed nothing, no figure, no suit, just empty concrete and silence. Amara stood by the window, still as a statue. Her small hand rested on the glass where the words had been. Now, only Dew remained. Marcus knelt beside her, voice raw. "What do I do?" She turned to him, eyes clear, not haunted, but heavy with a truth too large for her years. "You go to the cemetery," she said. "You say his name, and you leave flowers." 2 days later, Marcus stood beneath a gray sky at Oakhaven Memorial. Rain threatened, but never fell. He placed white lilies on an unmarked grave, Plot 47, Section B, the name on the death certificate he'd finally pulled. Elias Voss, age 42, cause hit and run, date. The night Marcus got his first million, he whispered the name, not as a plea, not as a prayer, but as an acknowledgement. As he turned to leave, a breeze stirred the petals, and for the first time in 15 years, Marcus felt lighter. Back home, Amara waited on the balcony. She looked up, smiled faintly. "You did good, Daddy." That night, the house stayed warm, the cameras stayed clear, and in her dreams, Amara saw a man in a dark coat walk away, not toward them, but into light, no longer waiting, finally at peace. And so, for the first time in a long time, they both slept through the night.